Hi guys, we're going to show you how to make a super simple yet really tasty split pea soup. So let's get started. Step one, I'm going to rinse the peas. So he's just going to dump out, he's doing a double. He's doing a double recipe because he wants to take some over to his mom's house. And she bought him this smoked ham hock, and it's pretty big. So he decided to double the recipe. And so I guess you're rinsing and sorting the split peas to make sure there's nothing weird in there. I know when I got the red lentils, there was like, I don't know what it was. It looked like a piece of stone in there or something. I don't see anything in here. Looks pretty good to me. All right, I guess we just rinse them now. What is that? Is that a stone? Oh yeah, look at that. See? Sometimes you find little things like this. No idea what that is, but it was in the peas. So you got to take those things out. So that's why you rinse them and just look through them to make sure there's nothing weird in there. It looks like a rock. Okay. So we're going to rinse, and if we see anything else, we'll take them out. Oh, what is that? So we found like, I don't know what that is, piece of plastic or something. So if you don't rinse and sort, then you're going to end up with rocks in your soup, or whatever that was. Yeah, it's over there.
Looks like the outside, like, shell of the pea.
Look at the water underneath. It's like all foamy and like cloudy. So that would have been all in your soup if it hadn't been rinsed. Whatever that is. Pretty good. All right. Okay, now we're going to do the second bag. We're making a big pot of soup, so we're doing 2 bags of split peas because it's half for us and half he's taking over to his mom's house. All right. And repeat. Rinse and sort. So we didn't find anything in the second bag of peas, but the water is less like foamy and cloudy. The other one had like a tannish cloudy color with a ton of yucky foam on top. This one was a lot better. So that's it. We're done rinsing the peas. So we used 2 16-ounce bags of split peas, green split peas. So 2 1-pound bags. See that? 16 ounces, 1 pound. And now you're going to need 1 large onion. These are white onions versus Spanish or yellow or red. So you're doing 1 large white onion. And you're going to want to dice that up nice. Just like that. All right. And voila, 1 large chopped onion. Okay, so then you're going to need 2 regular carrots, and you're going to dice these up like that. So we got 2 diced carrots. And then you're going to need to dice up. Oh, so this is a smoked ham hock. Look at that. That smells smoky. That smells so smoky. It smells like I just walked into a smokehouse. That smells really good, actually. And so now you have to cut this up. So we're just going to cut off about 1/2 pound of the meat from the ham hock and just trim a little tiny bit of the fat and just dice up a little bit of it to have little diced pieces of ham in the soup. And then the rest of the meat that's on there is going to just fall off the bone when the soup simmers for about an hour. Because in total, the soup is going to cook for about an hour. And so that ham is going to get soft and it's going to fall off right off the bone. And you'll have like nice big chunks of ham and broken up pieces all throughout the soup. It'll be delicious. But I always like to cut a little bit off, dice it up into nice even pieces, and then you'll have the big chunks that fall off later too. I prefer small dice little pieces of ham throughout the soup. My husband loves to get the random big chunk of ham in the soup, kind of like pork and beans, where there's like a random piece of like bacon or pork in there. I don't like those pieces in the pork and beans, and he's like, ooh, score. Piece of ham in the pork and beans. And I'm like, it's all yours, buddy. Here, take them. So I like to do a little bit of both. So dice up some, and then we throw the bone in there, and it simmers for an hour with the soup, and voila, everyone's happy. All right, nice. All right. All right, so we have some diced up ham, and then we have this nice big ham hock, and that's going to boil away in the soup. It's going to pull out a ton of flavor. The meat's going to fall apart and just distribute itself through the soup. It's going to be delicious. Okay, and then you need 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. So we got 1 and 2. So 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. Okay, and you're going to use 2 packets of this Goya. It's called Sazón Goya, and it is like an all-purpose flavoring seasoning. But you want to make sure you get the one that says without annatto. You don't want the one with annatto because it'll completely change the flavor. And this isn't expensive. It's like $1.29 or something at ShopRite, the local supermarket. So you're going to use, when you open it, inside, there's these little pouches. So you're going to use 2 pouches. Okay, and then you want 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon. So you're just going to measure out 1, 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon. And then you're going to need salt and pepper, but we're actually only going to do pepper because this has salt, and this has salt. So we're going to do it without salt. And then at the end, we'll taste it. And if we feel like the soup needs more salt later, then we can always add salt. But the worst thing you could do is add too much salt to your soup, and then you ruin the soup. And there's things you could do to fix it, but it'll never be the same. So let me find the black pepper. So we're just going to do about a teaspoon of black pepper. And that's it. All right, so that's everything you need. Okay, you have 2 pounds of split peas, which is 2 16-ounce bags that we rinsed and sorted. We have 1 large onion, 2 carrots, 2 tablespoons of bouillon. We have about 1/2 pound of ham and a shank. But if you don't want to get a bone and everything, you can just get those ham steaks, and you want 1/2 pound of ham steak, diced up ham. So it would look like this without having to do all of this. 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, teaspoon of black pepper, and your 2 envelopes of Sazón Goya without annatto. Now we can get started. You're going to need olive oil also because you're going to start sauteing these vegetables. So let's get started. I always like it when you have all the ingredients out that you need, and it's just like a beautiful presentation. It's just colorful. It just looks nice. Anyway, I was just admiring the ingredients that we got together to start making the soup. Okay, let's get started. The more colorful your food, the healthier the food. So if it's beautiful and colorful, chances are it's good for you. Okay, so we're gonna start making our split pea soup. So we're gonna turn on a big 8 to 10 quart soup pot. So we're gonna turn that on. And we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Here we go. Because you're gonna saute the carrots, the onions, the garlic, all that good stuff first. Okay, once the oil starts to get hot, you're gonna start by putting in the garlic. That's 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. And you're also gonna add at the same time the onion, the carrot, and the ham. Just like that. And you're just gonna saute this for a few minutes. Stir. Flip the ham hock over, let the other side get cooked up a little bit. That smells so yummy. Okay, so this has been sauteing for 5 minutes. So now we're gonna add the peas. They're like stuck in there. They like cement themselves after you rinse them. It's weird. Now you're gonna add 12 cups of water. Then you're gonna add the 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon. Then you're gonna add the 2 little packets of sazon without annatto. And then you're gonna add the tablespoon of black pepper. Now you're gonna give everything a nice stir. And just give everything a nice stir. And now you're gonna wait for this to come to a boil. And once it starts boiling, you're gonna cover it, put it down to simmer, and you're gonna let it simmer until the little peas are nice and tender. We took the bone out so that we could mix everything in nicely. So now we're gonna put the bone back in and we're gonna bring this up to a boil. So we're gonna cover it, put this on high and let it come to a boil. And once it starts boiling, you're gonna cover it, put it on simmer, and you're gonna want it to boil for at least 30 minutes because that'll get the ham nice and soft, the split peas softened up, and everything will start to thicken and get really delicious. So I'm gonna cover this to speed up the heating process, and then we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so it finally came to a boil. So now we're just gonna let it simmer for 30 minutes and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so it's been simmering for 30 minutes. So you can see that the peas softened up. It's starting to get thick, but this needs a lot more time. So we're gonna let it simmer on super low, the lowest setting that you can get on your stove. And we're just gonna let it simmer for another 30 because we want this to get nice and thick. So we're gonna cover it, put it on super low, and just let it simmer for another 30. It has been simmering. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Okay, so this has been simmering for a total of an hour. We did half an hour in the beginning, and then we gave everything a nice stir, and then we simmered it for another half an hour, and now you could see the meat is falling off the bone, the peas are super soft, and they're getting nice and thick in the soup, and you just want to take your spoon and try to like smush up the meat off the bone because it's going to be like big chunks of meat. And this is perfect. It's done. Love it when someone's cooking in the house. It just makes it feel like a home. Look at that. The ham started to fall off the bone. So now you have these huge chunks of ham in there that you can break up with the spoon if you want, or you can leave them in there. Look at that. Everything started to boil off the bone. So you can kind of let it sit here and simmer a little longer, and that'll continue to like disintegrate in there. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to give it a taste for salt. See how it tastes. Okay, so I have a massive spoon here. I don't need this big spoon, but I just had it there. So let's give this a taste for salt. That tastes delicious. It could actually use a little bit more salt, but I like salty things, so I'm not going to put any salt in there because my husband's family isn't into salt as much as I am. So I'm not going to put any salt in there, but I am going to let it simmer for another 15 minutes or so. And that's it. Let that ham disintegrate a little bit more. And that's it. The soup is done. As you can see, the split peas have completely... Ooh, foggy. Hold on. The split peas have completely softened up. This is nice and thick now. You can see the ham, the carrots. So good. And the bone has pretty much disintegrated. The meat is falling off the bone. So you're going to have big chunks of ham in there, which some people love. My husband loves big chunks of ham in his soup. I prefer no chunks of ham in my soup. So he'll be happy getting the big chunks. I'll be happy with the little dice. So I'm going to serve up a little bowl of this and have it now while it's fresh and hot and delicious. Okay, so I'm going to serve up a little bowl of split pea soup just to have right now. Nice and thick. I'm going to do 2 ladlefuls. Just like that. Perfect. All right. All right, let's look at that. Nice and thick. And we got the pieces of ham in there. See that? Piece of carrot. All right, let's give this a taste. That is delicious. So, before I met my husband, I had never tried split pea soup in my life. And then we went to my mother-in-law's house, and she's like, "You want the ham bone?" And I'm like, "What would we want the ham bone for?" And my husband's like, "Oh, we're going to make split pea soup." And I'm like, "Really? Okay." And he made it. And I never liked split pea soup. And I don't know. They say every 7 years your taste changes. All I know is that as of 2 years ago, I now love the split pea soup. So go figure. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you have some leftover ham bone or you just feel like making yourself a nice, hearty, warm, hot soup on a cold winter day, split pea soup, delicious. Thanks for watching. Bye.